This episode will be a little bit different from the usual ones, as this is our 50th episode. So stay with us to celebrate.
Welcome to the Business Lessons in Denmark podcast. I'm Rezső Almási and I will be talking to Katalin Balog, the owner of...
Wait.
Hello.
I'm here.
Hi, Lila.
Hi.
Hi.
You think that you do this episode without me?
Oh no, that would have been a big mistake.
So today, what did you think if I make the interview with you?
Okay, let's do this.
Exciting.
Yeah, it will be. So, first of all, congratulations for the 50th episode. It's a long time. It's almost 1 year, isn't it? Or it's maybe a little bit more than 1 year?
No, it's a bit less, but it's almost 1 year. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, did you think in the beginning that you would get so far?
No, actually, no. I mean, we hoped that we would, but we were not sure at all if this would be a success or maybe nobody would listen to us. So we didn't know.
Okay, and how it started? You just thinking that, okay, can we make a podcast? And you talk to Edina in that time?
Yeah.
That, okay, now just starting and you sitting down 10 minutes and it was done.
No, it was not like that. Yeah, it was actually my idea because I personally love podcasts. I listen to many podcasts. So I don't know. It just came to me because, there were some problems we wanted to handle with it. First of all, we saw or heard that there were many false data among business owners, like the experience that people, they talk to each other, like they have some questions and then they ask maybe their friend or somebody else, and sometimes there were really like very, very bad data that people were acting on, and we wanted to handle that. So that was one reason we started.
I think we can talk about a lot, isn't it, Treasure? Or it's just my experience that I have a lot of false data?
Yeah, but first of all, I would like to also congratulate to Kati for 50. So
Thanks.
happy birthday. Cheers.
So back to you until he's drinking.
Yeah.
Of course, these are mostly fictional, but very real problems. So of these things I have been through, and they were very real. So the information from Kati, I think it was personally helpful to me.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. We were also thinking that we often say the same things again and again and again. Like, like people usually ask about the same things. So we were thinking, like, if we have a podcast, then maybe we can just send a link. Or if one of our clients asks a question, then we can tell him or her, like, look, there is a podcast episode about this. You can listen to it here and here. And if you still have a question or if you still have some questions, then call us after. So, yeah. And it actually, it works like this. Like I had some examples when we were doing like that.
What was your listener reaction after a few episodes?
Yeah, it was surprisingly positive. Actually, I was a little bit afraid that, sometimes people are not so nice on, like on, for example, social media and, in this digital communication, in this digital age. And I was a bit afraid that maybe we would get some very harsh critics, or maybe some, I don't know what I was afraid about, but we didn't get anything at all. So it was positive from the very beginning, and since we started, we got a lot of praise, and people are grateful that we started this, and yeah, there are some success stories also.
Oh, it's great. One of the success story?
Yeah, I mean, there were actually many success stories, but one recently, there was a client who came to us. She started her business 1 year ago, or a bit more than 1 year ago, maybe 1.5 years ago, and it was going very well. She was earning really nicely, but she just didn't really think about VAT, for example, that she should report her VAT or she should pay. She didn't like this aspect. She just didn't think of at all, like absolutely at all. And then our podcast came out, and she started to listen to it, and then she realized, like, oh, okay, there are some things that I have to pay attention to. And then she came to us. Of course, in the meantime, the tax office found her. Let's say it like
Sounds good.
so they charged her, I don't know, more than 100,000 crowns in debt. But she didn't have a book, not even a bookkeeping, nothing. Anyway, she found us, and she came to us and asked us to put everything in order. Like, she said, okay, she doesn't care how much it takes. She would like to put it in order. And we did. We did the full bookkeeping. We did the VAT returns. We did her tax return. And actually, with this, that everything came into order, it turned out that her debt is actually much less. So we basically spared 35,000 crowns to her.
Wow.
I think it's it's major. So she was very happy.
Yeah,
That's it.
I understand. Yes. Okay, so the episode, it just came, and everybody, a lot of people listening, and Edina had to go, or
Yeah.
of course it was her decision. And
Yeah.
after Rejo came in the story, how did you meet?
Yeah, we have never met personally.
we never met, actually.
Yeah, no. I would like to tell you something, Lila. I really surprised me, because I'm glad that today's show could be a bit more relaxed than usual. So it's really fine. I don't have to be so serious
No.
as always. So, as I'm a mechanical engineer by training, but despite more than 30 years of professional experience, I still not get any opportunities in Danish society. So, on my wife's advice, I decided to start my photography business. I have many hobbies, but this was my most important hobbies. So I searched the internet for tax information, and that's how I found Kati. So that's when I started watching her podcast from the beginning. And if you can imagine, like a Netflix series that you want to finish over a weekend, and you can't stop at just one episode, because the next one might be exciting. So when I finished all episodes so far, I started calculating how much would be left after taxes in my pocket, and I emailed them my questions, and Kati was kind enough to reply, but she also called me once.
Yeah.
Total shocked.
Yeah, the clinic is started. I'm not even an entrepreneur yet, and Akko is already calling me. How much do I have to pay to the tax authorities? This is what I thought. But Kati told me, relax. She was just calling about the podcast, and she asked if I would take the role of the ignorant partner. So Well, I don't have to pretend anything because I really knew nothing about taxes. So I'm a really good actor. My first talk was that I wanted to help Kati get the weekly podcast episodes ready, and since I did that, I'm happy to help her. But since we've been doing this, I've come to love it, and most importantly, I understand a lot more. So
Yes, that will be my next question.
I learned a lot.
It was actually at that time that my earlier business partner, Edina, left the company. And that was when Rezső came in our lines. And this is how I found him, basically.
Yeah.
So it's great. And you have a photograph company.
Yeah.
You're taking a lot of photos. It's about the nature, or it's about the people, or...
The Danish people say altmulig.
Altmulig, yeah.
Any kind of picture, I like to do it because, I don't like to do, for example, just macros because it's getting boring for me. Building photographs, I make cars and, vehicles and, of course, portrait and drone photos, drone videos. I'm happy to take on photography jobs. So dear listener, don't hesitate to reach out.
But if somebody wants around Copenhagen or Copenhagen, it's fine. We can meet personally.
Yeah, of course. Of course, it's a good idea. I was there for a week, so it was a real topic. In one episode, we just talk about travel with Kati and accommodations, the
business trips, yeah.
Business trips. And it was real because I was there, so I worked there in Zeeland, so it was also good. So if it's necessary, I can travel, of course, because I have a white license plate.
Already have a car.
Finally, I bought it.
Okay, most important question. What about your wife? Is she real?
Like Columbo, just one more sentence. Yeah. It was mentioned that I'm like a Columbo. I'm talking about my wife, but no one has seen her yet.
Okay, back to you a little bit, Kati. How can we imagine this podcast? How many people standing behind?
Actually, there are more people because it's actually quite a big job, quite a lot of work. The podcast itself is not so long. It's around 10-15 minutes every episode, but we work, I don't know, around 10-15 hours on every episode, minimum.
Wow.
My colleague, Lely, he is the one who prepares the episodes. So he researches the topics, then he writes the manuscript. First he makes just like a draft, and then we talk about it, and then sometimes I change it a little bit. Then he makes a manuscript out of it, and then we record it with Rezső. And after that comes the post-production, where he actually watches the episodes and then cuts the video so it works well. And then also there is the uploading to all the platforms, and of course he has to do the subtitles, so he works quite a lot. But also there are some other people who help. For example, in the manuscripts, Lilna, you have wrote. There was also another lady who helped with the manuscripts. And actually, Rezső, in the beginning, he did the post-production part also. So, there is a team. It's a team effort.
Nice. And how do you find out the next episode, the subject? It's just coming, or you have a plan?
Yeah, we actually have a plan. We made a plan already in the beginning for 1 year. So already in the beginning, we thought over okay, so what subjects do we need to talk about? We try to build it up logically. So we try to start from the point when somebody is maybe thinking about opening a business in Denmark and what kind of questions he or she may have. And that's why we started with the different company forms in Denmark, like what would be, like which form is best for whom. And then, as one starts to build up a business, there are some questions that come naturally, and this is how we built it up. So now we talk mostly about expenses, like what kind of expenses can be deducted. And we would like to move on to, like, when your business is getting bigger, then sooner or later you probably will need some employees. And this will also pose quite some questions. So, yeah.
And if you just run out of the questions, I'm here and Reggio here and a lot of listeners here, so
Yes.
you can ask.
Yes. There were, for example, a situation with one of my clients, and then he said, like, "Oh my God, I think I'm furnishing you with a lot of good topic in your podcast." Because there was there was some problems with one of his clients. So yeah.
And I can imagine the life also bring the topics. So
Yes, sure.
real life.
Yeah, sometimes life brings in something. For example, there was one topic that originally I didn't plan to include, but there was a question from one of my clients, and I know that it comes up a lot of times, so then we included it anyway. And there were several episodes like that.
It's like mine question, was it?
This was not yours, actually.
Okay, but mine is just coming like this. I don't understand this.
Yeah, you have been quite some help also. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was funny. I still try to working on this answer. Yeah. Reggio, how this podcast changing your life? Are you very famous now? So when you're going out, it's a lot of people coming to ask autogram.
Yeah, I can tell you honestly. People stop me on the street, ask for my autograph, take photos, and women in discotheque ask for autograph on their breast.
I can imagine that. But once somebody has to take a photo.
Funny, I was a bit daydreaming or no, nothing. As I mentioned before, it's easier now because I understand a bit better about the tax matters that concern me. I've changed the point where, although I'm quiet and introverted person, so the podcast recordings are pulling me out of that environment, which is good for me, good for my personal development. I hope so. Yeah, this is what changed in my mind.
Yeah,
and
nothing special.
Kati, what about you?
I can just relate so much to what Reggio said. It really also for us, also for me personally, it has just really brought me out of my comfort zone. I must say that. So it just meant so much that I started to, do things that before I would never dare to do them. So it's really, it really gave a personal development. It actually meant quite a lot for the business also. There came quite some interest to other services. Also, we built up quite some goodwill on the field. We got a lot of support from people. And also, I was just thinking the other day, a lot of people came, like people I didn't even know before. And now they are in my life. And the funny thing is that somehow the podcast filters people. So it's I noticed that also like clients, the new clients that came in to us, they exactly that type of clients that we like to work with. So I don't know, somehow people who resonate with us and we resonate with them. And actually, it's funny, but I was just thinking the other day that all the people that are around me now, almost all of them, I got from the podcast. I have two colleagues, Lely, who I mentioned before. I also have another colleague who is a bookkeeper in the company. Both of them came through the podcast. So
And Raju.
And Raju also came through the podcast. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, and this podcast is in two languages, one in Hungarian and one in English. What the numbers said?
Yeah, we do the podcast both in Hungarian, which is our mother language, and in English. And the Hungarian and the English together, I don't know, it's around 10,000 plays already on YouTube.
Wow.
And we have like the weekly listeners are around 150 or 200 on a good week. We have some outliers because there are some episodes which were very, very popular, where we are over, I don't know, around 600 now. But the general, like the usual, the average number are around 150 and 200 on all the platforms, because we are on YouTube, on Spotify, and on Apple Podcast. So, I mean, our podcast is a niche podcast, so we it's a very specialized field. So we never meant that we would have, like, we never expected to have like millions of listeners like some of these big YouTube guys, you know. So we knew that this would never be achieved, but this was not the purpose either.
But you can help the people who has no company, just like an employees, and has problem with the taxes. So you can also helping them.
Yeah, we can.
Great.
I think the podcast is mostly listened by people who do have like small business owners, and it is really like it's for Denmark. So yeah, and mostly foreigners in Denmark, actually. So it's not such a big group. Our target audience is not that big, but we are happy actually with the numbers for this niche.
I think I increased this number because I'm a little bit stupid for bookkeeping, and I watched all episode 5-10 times. So maybe I increased these numbers. Just a joke.
But we have to ask the followers after the podcast. Just share your Facebook site. I know everybody has to listen.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that I can make this interview with you. I hope you enjoyed too.
Yeah, very much.
Okay, Raju, just close the episode as you do.
Yeah. Thank you, girls. I was also so happy to talk with you. Dear listener, thank you for your attention today, and see you next week. Today's episode was sponsored by Cool Accounts ApS. If you don't want to struggle alone with your business finances and taxes, contact us through our website www.accounts.cool. But I know you know this. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page for useful and up-to-date information. We wish you a successful week. Bye-bye.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.